All right, so we're going to take a look at coordinate proofs, and all that means is proving that a shape is the shape that it is. Before we start, you have to know what the shapes are. So what do you remember about the shapes? This is an equilateral triangle. Equal. So what does that mean? Equilateral triangle. All the sides are equal. And the way this is represented, and you'll see this a lot more in geometry, is that you'll have these little tick marks. This tick marks means this is equal to this, which is equal to this. All right, so equilateral. Isosceles means that it has two sides that are equal. So again, these two sides and also these base angles are equal. You do not need the base angles for what we're doing today, just to know that two sides are equal. A scalene means that none of them are equal. So an equilateral, three sides equal. An isosceles, two sides equal. A scalene, no sides equal. Okay. Now you don't really necessarily need to know this. An acute angle is an angle less than 90. An obtuse angle is one that's greater than 90, but you do need to know the right one, which is exactly 90 degrees. A right triangle, 90 degrees. All right, so this is the three kind of questions that they could give you: an equilateral, isosceles, scalene, whether that's a isosceles right, a scalene right, or an equilateral right. Those are some questions they can give you based on what we've learned so far. The other ones that they can give you are quadrilaterals, but specifically looking at, and let me just go ahead and write this, quadrilateral, and I know I just misspelled this, but regardless, I just need the first part. What does quad mean? How many sides do you think quad means? All right, quad means four sides. So these are shapes that have four sides, and you can see a parallelogram has 1, 2, 3, 4. A rhombus 1, 2, 3, 4, a rectangle 1, 2, 3, 4, a square 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we're going to take a look at a parallelogram, and I'm going to tell you like a quick story. You know, you are a product of your mom and dad, and because you're a product of your mom and dad, you have some characteristics or traits that belong to your mom, some characteristics or traits that belong to your dad. Like, for example, you can have your nose looks like your mom's nose, or your eyes looks like your dad's eyes. So at the top of our family tree, we have grandma parallelogram. Grandma has 5 major characteristics, and I'm going to go through them in just a second. Grandmother gave birth, got with a baby daddy, gave birth to a rhombus. Okay, so this rhombus is going to have the 5 traits from grandmother plus an additional 3 traits from the baby daddy. All right. But later on in life, grandmother broke up with this baby daddy and got with a different baby daddy. They had a baby called the rectangle. So the rectangle has the 5 traits from grandmother plus another 2 traits from baby daddy. Well, I don't know what happened between these two. They didn't know they were family or whatever they did. They got together, unfortunately, and they gave birth to a square, which means they had the 5 traits that each of them had from grandma, plus the 3 from this baby daddy, plus this 2 from this baby daddy, for a total of 10 characteristics. Now, I'm only going to go through the characteristics that you need for Algebra 1. In geometry, they'll do all 10. All right, so for the ones that we need with Algebra 1, here's the first one, parallel. What does that mean? Opposite sides are parallel to each other. This is parallel to this and represented by 2 arrows. This is also parallel to that, represented by 1 arrow, because if I made them 2, I'd also be saying it's parallel to this, and it's not because it meets right here. So grandma has in her name a characteristics. Opposite sides are parallel. And in Algebra 1, how do I prove that the sides are parallel to one another? What do they have? The same slope, different y-intercepts. Okay, the second thing we're going to do is opposite sides, so this side and this side are congruent or the same or equal, and we represent that with tick marks. So 1 tick mark means they're the same. 2 tick marks means they're the same. Again, I don't put a 1 and a 1 here because that means these 2 are the same. All right, those are the only 2 we'll deal with, but remember they do have 5. When she got with her baby daddy, a rhombus also has opposite sides are parallel and opposite sides are congruent. In addition to that, we got 3 properties from the baby daddy, which again, we are not going to need. The only one that I am going to mention is that these angles are not 90 degrees. Okay, so the only one that I need is all these sides are the same, and this is not equal to 90. I guess not. Okay, so if I was trying to prove something is a rhombus, I would prove all four sides are equal, then take this side, and they would not be perpendicular or parallel. All right, so on this other side, where she had a different baby daddy and had a different baby, again, the 5 from the parallelogram, so we need the opposite sides. So opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides are congruent. And this is equal to 90. Okay, so 3 things that I can prove that it's a rectangle. I can prove these sides are the same, then take the one of the angles and prove that it's 90, and that's enough. Or I can prove 2 are parallel, and then this side is 90, and that's enough. And then to prove that it's a square, you need all sides are equal, because they got it from rhombus here. Everything is the same, right? It's equal to 90. They got that trait from here. All sides are equal to 90, or opposite sides are parallel as well. And there's some other stuff as well, but you're going to learn those in geometry, not now. Okay, so really, basically what we're looking at in applying algebra 1 to this is whether they're parallel to one another, that means the slopes are the same, whether they're perpendicular to one another, which means the slopes are reciprocals, whether opposite sides are equal, which means they're the same. What else do we have? Yep, that's pretty much it for algebra. Okay, so to do that, we've already done that in this unit using all of these things. I'm not going to go into the midpoint one because that means bisecting, and I don't think they asked that in algebra. So in order to answer any questions, you're going to use your knowledge of what you know about shapes and what you know about distance and slope. So if the figure have congruent segments, that means like it's a square. So the 4 equal sides, I'm using the distance formula to show 4 equal sides. If it has parallel segments, so let's say it's a rectangle, a rhombus, a square, or even a parallelogram, I'm using the slope is the same to show that they are parallel to one another. If it has a right angle, meaning a perpendicular segment, so if it's a rectangle or a square, and I want to show that it has a 90-degree angle, I'm proving that the slopes are reciprocals to one another. All right, if the figures have segments that bisect, cut something in half, I'm using the midpoint to show the same values. However, I don't think they apply this one in this. So that's basically what we're doing. Let's practice.